Have you ever reached a point in your life where you have been so exhausted, so hurt, so disappointed that giving up felt easier than continuing? And this is not because you were weak, but because you were tired. I'm not talking about having a bad day. I'm talking about the kind of tired that lives in your bones. The kind where you have tried over and over and over and over again and nothing seems to change. The kind where defeats start to feel like the only logical conclusion. I've been there. And if you're honest with yourself, so have you. Today, I want to talk about what happens in that moment. That exact moment when everything in you wants you to stop. Because I believe very deeply from everything that I have lived through and learned in life, that the moment when you want to give up is often the moment when you haven't yet discovered how strong you actually are. Almost every person out there has faced a moment when they wanted to quit. Quit the relationship, quit the business, quit the dream, quit believing things are going to get better or can get better. Maybe it was a marriage that fell apart. Maybe it was a business that failed. Maybe it was your health. Maybe it was a friendship that broke you. Maybe it was losing something you built or someone you loved. Not everyone's story is the same. But everyone, every single one of us knows struggle. And when you're deep inside that struggle, defeat can start to sound like peace. Like maybe stopping is just the wise thing to do. But here's what I've learned. Just because you are exhausted doesn't mean you're done. There's a lie that finds us in our hardest moments. A very convincing lie. And it sounds like this. Because this chapter is painful, the story must be over. We do this to ourselves. We take one painful chapter and we let it become the verdict on our entire story. But a chapter is not a book. A setback is not an ending. And a failure is not a final verdict. Your circumstances may shape your chapter, but they do not write your ending. The moment we confuse a chapter with the conclusion is the moment we hand over our power. And that's the moment I want to talk about because that's where most people stop. That's where most people just put the book down. But it is also the most important part of where your story begins. I want to tell you a bit about myself. I've always believed in one thing deeply, no matter what I faced in life. I don't accept defeat until I know that I've given it my all and I've tried everything. Not because I'm fearless, oh, I have been afraid. And not because I'm stubborn, because I've questioned myself more times than I can count. But because somewhere in me, I have always believed this. There's almost always another move possible. There's always another way forward, another option that I haven't seen yet. And that belief, that simple refusal to let a chapter become my last page or the ending of my story has changed my life. I've had to rebuild more than once. And people who know me, they've seen the ups and downs. They've seen me fall and get back up. They've seen the resilience in me. I have had to start in ways I didn't choose and wasn't ready for. I've had to find the courage in moments where I had nothing left. And every single time, I cannot emphasize this enough, but every single time, I refuse to quit before I've tried everything. I found a way forward I couldn't see when I was in the middle of pain. And that's something that most people can relate with, because this is what we all go through. Here's what I want you to remember. You don't discover resilience when everything is easy, particularly when life is easy. You discover it when giving up seems easy. The people who rise again, I've watched them, I've worked with them, I've been one of them. They don't necessarily have easier lives. A misconception most people think about people who are related to psychology, therapists, coaches, psychologists, they think that they have it all figured out. Their lives are easy because, hey, they know the sciences, right? Well, that's not true. These people don't have fewer setbacks. Oh, trust me, I didn't have fewer setbacks. They just learn to do one thing. They learn how to shift. Shift is a framework I've built my entire practice around. It's not a theory. It came from living through these experiences. It takes you from a moment of collapse when everything feels impossible to the moment of forward movement, step by step. Because resilience isn't a personality trait that you have or you don't. It's a skill, and it can be learned. The strongest people, and this is what I need you to remember again, the strongest people are not those who never break. They are the ones who learn how to rebuild. I want to leave you with one question, just one. And I want you to think about it before you answer it to yourself. What if the thing that you're calling the end is actually the beginning of something you've desired, a new chapter? What if the job loss leads to that business you've always wanted to build? What if that relationship that fell apart is creating space for that one relationship that is truly meant for you? What if the failure is that exact thing that is teaching you what success actually requires? And what if the breakdown is actually the breakthrough? Every successful person you admire has lost something at some point. Every strong person and resilient person you've known has cried. Every resilient person has wanted to give up at some point. The difference isn't that they never broke. The difference is that they've rebuilt, and maybe more than once at times. So here's what I'm really saying. Life may knock you down. It may break your heart. It may make you question everything you thought you knew about yourself. But it does not get to decide whether you stay there. The story isn't over. Not yet. Not while there is still courage. Not while there is still hope. And not while there's still one more step to take. Your story isn't over yet.